Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday. It is the 7th day of November 2023. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your family's safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are saving lives, and those that pick up garbage for us to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries of important things for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People who are also the victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators of these things. Double curses on the profiteers of these things. And double curses on the perverts that create this industry. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and children homeless in the United States of America and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game last night at Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks took on the LA Clippers with the newly acquired James Harden. The LA Clippers have four starters that between them probably have somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 all NBA teams, couple of MVPs, leading scorers, leading assist people, championships in their starting five. So the Knicks had a daunting task. It was going to be James Harden, who has scored 61 in the past at Madison Square Garden, and people like to go off at Madison Square Garden, against the New York Knicks. Now, what we have been saying all along is that the Knicks need 20 games to get acclimated. That's typical. Some of y'all don't have the patience for that, but that's your problem, not the Knicks. And we also know that there's certain aspects of the game that Tom Thibodeau teams need to dominate in order for them to be successful long term. Rebounding is one, especially on the offensive end. Defense is another. Okay? What has been hurting the Knicks in a couple of games, as we all saw, was the lack of shooting and especially bad free throw shooting. Okay? They probably would have had at least one or two more wins if they were shooting their free throws, even at an NBA regular average rate. Last night, they shot the free throw 17 of 18. Okay? Last night, they out-rebounded on the offensive end the Clippers 18-7. They out-rebounded the Clippers overall 48-31. These are areas that the Knicks need to continue to do. And so it was just a matter of time until these things start to come around. But you can't mention the Knicks in there and what's going to happen with their 50-win season that's coming. You can't mention that without mentioning R.J. Barrett. At the beginning of the season, we were all, this is Barrett's fifth season. We were looking for a leap, and people were comparing him to other people that were drafted in his class, like a John Morant, and seeing how fast John Morant came out the gate, and they were like, well, how come RJ's not doing it? Well, and I was trying to explain to people, you can't compare them like that. Every player develops at their own pace. And RJ, as we know, is a slow starter, always has been. And so he's developing slower. But I did say early in his career that he's going to be Jimmy Butler 2.0. Jimmy Butler with a better jump shot. He's looking like that now. Now, earlier in the summer, I was open to trading him if we're talking about keeping Emmanuel quickly. Okay? And because quickly had developed, quickly had developed past RJ, and quickly was better than RJ. But then RJ decided to become a man. He grew from the boy, as I said in the video earlier, to a grown-ass man. And so now he's taken the leap. And so last night, RJ, 9 of 16 from the floor, 2 of 4 from 3, 6 for 6 from the free throw line. This is RJ Barrett. 6 boards, 4 assists, 26 points. This efficiency is the thing. The efficiency is it. We've never seen RJ this efficient. I haven't seen RJ this efficient since he's been in the league at all, especially this early in the season. He usually gets better as the season goes on. And then we know he goes through bad streaks, and that can still happen. But there's no doubt he has taken a step. There is no doubt he has taken a step forward. And so you have that, and now everybody was riding Julius Randle. And the thing that I didn't understand, and I mentioned this in Sunday's pod, that Julius is in his prime, and people are acting as if he's going to fall off the earth. Star players, NBA players, high level, which Julius is, you're going to come back to the mean. You're not going to stay below the mean for long. You're not going to stay above the mean for long. So that means, what does that look like? That means you're going to get a 20 and 10 Randle. Okay, you're going to get that. The question I had, and many of us had, is, as he matured, so that his emotional state somebody can't get in his head, as you know, and I know that does happen. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen at some point during the season. But he has matured. He is more letting the game come to him. He is more figuring out his role with a grown man now, RJ Barrett. And it's going to click. It's going to click. And we were talking about how with guys like Brunson and Randle, there's going to come a game where they explode and they're going to be on the map again, and everybody's going to stop doubting them, right? Well, for Brunson, it was Friday against Milwaukee, 45. It wasn't yesterday with Randle. I know people were tempted to say it, but not yet. But what we did see him feel confident in the motions of the offense. He's been putting in defensive effort. Now, he has slipped a couple times, and it seems like people were ready to pounce on him. He did slip a couple of times during the course of this season already, in the first 7 games of the season, where he's let somebody get by him, and he almost looked like he didn't care, like the Randle of old. But for the most part, he's been putting in work on the defensive end, very heavy work on the defensive end. Then last night, the rebounding was there. The aggressiveness offensively getting to the hole was there. He was 3 of 8 from 3, which means he was shooting almost 40% from 3. 6 for 6 from the line. He had 6 turnovers, but last night was just a weird night in terms of turnovers overall. Like the Knicks usually average around 12. They had 19 last night. So it was just like an overall thing. I mean, RJ had 5. Brunson had 4 turnovers. I mean, it was just a turnover-filled night. But even though that being the case with Randle, I wasn't as upset with the turnovers last night because I saw the overall game coming into focus here. And so last night you started to see what you would normally see from Randle. It wasn't his best game. And you're going to see him come out with a blow-up game soon, but within this first 20 games. But it was a Randle game, and that is what we needed. And they manhandled the Clippers in the second half of this game. It was like touch and feely for a bit, but then it was just too much. The Knicks were just too much for them. Too much on the boards, too much on defense, really. Too much for them, okay? And then DiVincenzo. We talked about DiVincenzo. Like I said, I wasn't worried about him because he's really a good player, and I saw that eventually he would find his footing. Well, he did. He did. He only scored 12 points, but major points. Major. He was 3 of 5 from 3. Major nailed in the coffin threes. Second chance opportunities. Heads up basketball. Tight defense. Yeah, all of that. And then, of course, Hart, like I said, is going to be Hart because he's Charlie Hustle. So Charlie Hustle, that means him and Hartenstein, they're going to bring heart and soul, no pun intended, to the second unit and to the game. They're going to, you don't need to have your shot on or off the dive on the floor, and that's what those type of dudes do. And so they also were playing their type of ball. The thing I liked about this win, aside from it being at home, is what you're seeing from Hart, DiVincenzo, Hartenstein, and Quickly. You're going to see on a consistent basis. You're going to see that more often than not. They may not all hit their shots, shot might not be falling, but the effort, the defense, the heads up basketball, the rebounding, that's going to be there all the time. Okay, that's why I like this team to finish top six, top four in the East because they got a solid bench. Mitchell Robinson, who I've been telling y'all from the summer, I said this is Mitch Rob. I told y'all, and some people are like we stretch five. No, we don't need no stretch five. We got the top offensive rebounder in the world because he's the top offensive rebounder in the league, not in high school, not in college, in the league. Okay, he plays defense like when we drafted him, second round. I knew it was a steal then, and people were laughing at me when I said he's one day going to be an All NBA defender and he's going to be a defensive player of the year. Well, look at him now. Okay, look at him now. And so, yeah, 15 boards, 6 on the offensive end, 4 steals, tremendous defense. That's what you call. Look at last night's game. And in the dictionary, next to anchor of defense, put that game. Because that's what he was doing. Okay? Out of the last 5 games the Knicks have played, they held their opponents under 100 points in 4 of them. The Knicks right now are, as far as point differential, they 6th in the East right now. That's going to eventually translate to their position eventually in the East. They're going to even be better than that, but for right now, they're second in opponent's points allowed. Okay, they're really clicking defensively. They're 30th in scoring, but the scoring isn't as important as the point differential. Let me explain. Point differential means this is how much you're beating your opponents by. Okay, so they're beating their opponents right now by an average of 2 points. That's the 6th best in the East. Okay. They're allowing the lowest amount of scoring of any team. You're not scoring the NBA average against the Knicks. So with that in mind, they could score a little bit and win. Okay, because their point differential is telling you you're going to score less than them. That's the important thing. See. So you're going to have teams that lead the league in scoring. Generally, those teams don't win championships. It's teams that have that point differential, that keep that defense tight, that win chips. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. So Brunson had a terrible game in terms of statistics, but if you actually saw the game, his influence, the amount of attention he draws, creates opportunities for other players. So he only had 7 points. He had 4 turnovers. If you one of these, just strictly looking at the box score and trying to judge the game, you're going to get it wrong on this one and not only that, Brunson played really good defense. And this is the thing. Any NBA player, this is true. For, I'd say 90%, maybe 95% NBA players. Whoever puts a strong amount of effort on defense is going to suffer offensively. And vice versa. If somebody spends all their time trying to score, they're not going to be good on defense. Like Julius Randle when he first came to the Knicks. He was saving his energy for offense and giving up points on the defensive end. Well, he's changed now, and so it happened with Roy. So last night, Brunson was focused on defense, and he was playing good defense, and his shot suffered, and his offense suffered. It's very few players that can consistently play at a very high level, both offensively and defensively. I mean, Kobe Bryant, that's why he's Kobe Bryant, LeBron, Jordan, Magic. These guys could play at a very high level, all NBA level on defense and offense. Okay, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, those guys play at a very high level on both ends of the floor. Okay, but it's hard to do. So generally, that's not Brunson. Brunson is really unstoppable offensively, but he's not. He's a liability defensively. But last night he locked in defensively, and with the emergence of RJ, he made up the slack. And then of course there's Juju. So now Grimes had a bad game offensively also, but remember Grimes is guarding Harden. Okay, Grimes is guarding Harden. Most of the night he's guarding Harden, or he's guarding, and then you had Randle. Actually, I was surprised at that matchup. You see Randle and Kawhi guarding each other last night. And then, of course, Paul George was guarding RJ. Obviously, our guys got the better of him. The thing is about the Clippers, it takes, in all fairness, they just got Harden. It's going to take them time to figure it out. When they do, it happens to every team. Even when LeBron went to Miami, it took them like half a season to figure it out. But once they do, they're going to be tough. The problem with the Clippers, though, is that with all that talent and when they figure out they're going to be steamrolling people, that is when they all play. Because, availability is an issue on that roster. Okay? So it's a big if. They got the talent to win the West, but it's a big if they will because of the availability issues. So we have to see how that works out. I don't think they're going to do it because of that. I'm pretty confident people are going to start getting sprains and hurts and missing games, and then they're going to finish like they did last year. But anyway, the Knicks looked very good last night, and the next test is Victor Wembanyama and them because I'm very confident that whoever Mitch Rob has to guard, he gets up for it. You see, Knick Nation, we the Knicks, one of the best defensive centers in the league. We do. Okay? Y'all, some of y'all still ain't appreciating that because you're looking for him to high sky hook or hit 15-footers. Forget that. Anchor this defense. Keep opponents under 102 points a game. And help us get this win. That's what he's doing. Okay? Randle is now feeling confident. It's going to be on because he's playing San Antonio. There's a guy on San Antonio that is a Kentucky guy. What's that guy's name? And Randle gets up to play against his Kentucky brethren. He does. When he plays against the brethren from Kentucky, he gets hyped, ready to go. So what's this brother's name? Johnson, Keldon Johnson. That's right. So you got Keldon Johnson. I wonder what happened to Devin Vassell. I'm looking at their last night's game. Devin Vassell didn't play. They started Malachi Branham. But anyway, they lost big. Indiana crushed them last night, 152-111. And that's what I was saying about Wembanyama. We'll talk about it more tomorrow, but I tell you, man, it's an 82-game grind. He's got all kind of skills. There's Hall of Fame skills, but he's light in the behind. It's going to be tough for 82 games. I'm telling you, okay? It's a grind. See, they got spanked 152-111. And it can happen on any night in the league. But this kid's going to be really good, but it's going to take some time. He's got to get used to this grind, okay? It's not just skill level, it's a grind. So anyway, I have very high confidence that Jewel's going to be ready to go against Keldon on Wednesday night. I have very high confidence that our boy Mitch Rob is going to be ready to go against the Rook on Wednesday night. And let's see how we do. Okay? And I don't think Jalen Brunson going to have 2 bad shooting games in a row. So we looking good. He's looking good. So it's early. It's still very early. Still give them the 20 games. Don't start tripping, y'all. They ain't going to go the rest of the way without losing. But looking really good. Looking really good this week. And what I like about after Wednesday's game, they're off until Sunday. RJ now has revealed that he has this lingering knee issue. See, I don't like them playing in that summer stuff, man. That's what I mean. The summer stuff, the fever and all that, they don't need to be playing on that because look at now. You had Hart start slow. You had Brunson start slow, right? And now RJ got sore knee. Be better they didn't play that, right? Especially after we done ran in the playoffs. So anyway, he's gonna need that days to rest. So he gets from Wednesday. The next game is a matinee on Sunday against the Charlotte Hornets. So they get them 4 days. I was looking forward to this part of the schedule. So they get some time to rest. They're at home, get a chance to heal a little bit. Okay. Anyway, y'all enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Celebrate this Knicks win. I know we got something. We shifted into the next gear though. So